So Phil, we had a little excitement here earlier tonight with a snake in the house. In terms of courage, how would you have assessed my own performance in assisting?
Well, Paul dancing around on his tippy toes, screaming and upsetting the kids. His performance was pretty dismal, really.
Really?
Yeah, I had to step in.
What?
I had to step in and take charge and evacuate the kids.
Well,
But I've heard since that Paul's mentioned on the phone to someone tonight that he was the hero. So.
that's yes. That's it. All comes down to interpretation. But I clearly enunciated kids in the bedroom. I thought I was at least, saving the important cargo, and then I'll admit I did show somewhat of a lack of courage. But two snakes in a week for you.
Yeah, 2 snakes. Yes, and coming to Florida and having to deal with wrestling snakes to the ground and chasing them out of the house, it's quite confronting, really.
Now, the black racer today, which was the bigger of the 2 snakes, actually met a happier fate than the first garden snake that was trapped in the closet. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, well, the one in the closet there, I was frightened it was going to get away because it was that many clothes on the floor. So I actually pinned it to the skirting board.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
and
didn't survive.
Before it got the chop, it began to emit a foul and unpleasant odour.
Yeah, there were wicked over. I think it must have been just a way of scaring you off. Yeah.
But anyway, so we've sort of cut our teeth on a couple of snakes, and so maybe you've got a week left here. Who knows? Maybe an alligator's next.
An alligator, yeah. Well, I've wrestled 2 snakes to the ground, so I suppose I could wrestle an alligator down to the ground now.
And probably the most scary thought of all is next week looking after Sarah and Julia by yourself.
Yes. Well, wrestling them to the ground too is probably going to be a challenge.
Yeah, and a new set of house rules, I believe.
Yes, there will be. Sarah will be a changed person. I'll make sure of that. She'll have and there'll be an exit interview. Sarah will be able to. You'll be able to interview her and learn what's happened since you've been away.
See, yeah, she might have been traumatised, but yes, all I ask is that you leave them in better condition than you find them, and we'll be in good shape.
Yes, I'm sure you'll do that.